Hello there, everyone out there. Welcome back to At Home with Rhonda. Today I am cooking up what is called walking tacos. I thought I heard some footsteps. I am sure that you have heard the craze of walking tacos. So I think it was around the Christmas holiday, my husband and I were visiting my son, daughter-in-law, and our two granddaughters in South Carolina, and my son came in and started telling me about these walking tacos. And I'm like, what in the world is a walking taco? So if you've never heard of it, I'll be surprised, first of all. But you'll have to look it up. And there's many different versions of it. It's basically called a walking taco because you can get a nacho bag and you can dump all your ingredients in it and eat it as you're walking and talking or whatever, as you're walking on the sidewalk or wherever you're walking. And I love that concept. I'm not going to go that far. I'm going to have some guests tonight for dinner. And so I am going to serve up these walking tacos. But I absolutely love them. And it's basically a glorified taco. And you can make it however you want. I'm starting out with, I'm kind of cheating a little bit. I got some shredded seasoned rotisserie chicken. So I'm going to put one of those in the pan. I'm going to use several different ingredients, but basically it's up to you. What do you like on your taco? That's what you put on it. So I'm going to do two different meats, and I love that because at Christmas time we had 9 people that we were serving in the house, and so my daughter-in-law made a burger version, which if you're eating burger in my house, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be venison burger. So venison burger or beef burger, you can use turkey burger, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to be using venison burger. And so you would use that. And then I'm going to put half of this Mexican. It's called fajita. It's Kinder's. That's another kind of favorite brand that I've started buying lately. This is called the fajita blend. So I'm going to take half of this, put it in my chicken mixture, half of it in my burger mixture. And then I actually have some barbecue sauce that I make from a fruit here called American Beauty Berry. So this is called Beauty Berry barbecue sauce. I'm going to put some of that in my chicken, not the burger. But anyway, if you want to just join me today and watch me as I put together some walking tacos. I think my husband gets annoyed with using the word walking. He said, can't we just call it tacos? I'm like, no, I love it. I love something new, something fresh. And so the first thing, I actually bought 2 containers, but now looking at this, I have a feeling that maybe 2 containers of the shredded chicken is going to be a little bit too much. So maybe I will save that for later on. But I need to get some pepper. My peppers, some onions. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn my skillet on. I'm going to try to get this prepped. Turn it on high. Try to get it prepped so that when it comes to getting everything ready, I won't be stirring around and being busy. I'll actually be able to visit with my guest. So if you know anything about me, I usually don't give you portions. I'm just going to drizzle. All I want is enough oil to saute some onions, some peppers. I have some onions from, actually this was November of 2025. Wow. Anyway, grown out of my garden. So we're going to cut that open and we're going to saute some onions. I'm just going to put this whole pack, and that's kind of what I do with any of my vegetables. When I vacuum seal it in portions that is going to be convenient for me. And overall, I probably do use more of these vacuum seal bags, but it is very convenient and it works very well so that I don't have leftover onions that's going to go bad and get mushy in my refrigerator. So these are not from my garden, but I had I had some peppers, some red and orange and yellow peppers that was almost getting ready to go bad. So I hurried up and I chopped them up and I laid them out on some parchment paper, and I put them in the freezer, and now I put them in my little baggie. So I'm just going to put maybe a couple big handfuls, and look at it. Maybe just a half a handful. Yep. Anyway, you just want enough to be able to give some good flavor. So I'm going to cook this, stir fry this until, let me put this back in the freezer. I'm going to saute this until they're a little tender. I don't want to saute it until it's mush. I just kind of want to get it going. And then after I do that, I'll put my seasoning, and I'll put my chicken in here. And I'm not really going to heat it through because, you know, like I said, I'm trying to do some prep work. So what I'll do is I'll get this all together, and then I'll put it in a bowl so that when the time comes, all I'll have to do is just heat it through. I'm all about trying to keep it easy as possible. Some things are complicated. We're going to have to turn that down. I don't want it to burn. I just want it to lightly saute there. So let me work on this for a minute, and I will be back. But it's smelling great. I love red peppers, orange peppers, and yellow peppers. I just love all peppers. They're so good. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, y'all, I am back. I have cooked my peppers and onions until they're about maybe 3/4 of the way done. And now I'm going to go in with my chicken, and I'm going to add that to this. And if you want, you know, to save money, it would be a lot cheaper if you cook the chicken yourself. I don't know. Normally I would do that, but today I am cheating a little bit. So we're just going to crumble that. Now again, what you want to do, this chicken is already cooked, so we don't want to dry it out. So to keep that from drying, I am going to put a little bit of water. Not a lot. I don't want it mushy. I'm just going to put a little bit of water to add some moisture. And I'm going to turn that down, and I'm just going to let that heat through. Break it up a little bit. Can you see that? I think one is going to be plenty. Look at that. It's going to be delicious. I love the beef or the venison version, but the chicken is my favorite. I do love it. Might have to put a little bit more of the olive oil in here as well, because, you know, that chicken and everything just kind of soaks it right up. And then after I get this kind of all mixed up, what I'll do is I have a crock pot that I got a long time ago. And I'm trying to remember if it was a gift or if I just gifted it to myself. I think I got it on sale at Walmart or something, but it is one crock pot, but it has two different dividers. It has a divider in the middle. So if you wanted to have your green beans on one side, your corn on the other, it works perfectly for that. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to get this all ready, and I'll put this in half of, you know, one portion, one side of my crock pot, and then I'll cook up the burger version, and I'll put it in the other. And then when I get ready, all I'll have to do is put it on the counter and turn it on warm, heat it through, and it will be ready to go. So now I'm going to take my Kinder. Where's my scissors? My Kinder seasoning. Did you see that? It's called Fajita Blend. Very, very good. And I am going to attempt to put about half of that, because I want to save the other portion to go on the beef. So, a little bit more. Okay. And I'm going to save the rest of that to go in my venison, not beef, because we're having venison burger. I hardly ever buy beef. I know there's a lot of people out there that you're not really on the hunting wagon, but it saves us a lot of money. It's good, lean meat, very healthy. We love it, and again, it's the life that we live. It's the life that we choose. So here we are. I'm just going to have to break up some of these big clumps here. And yes, I use my fingers. My fingers are clean. I have washed them multiple times. So some of these little chunks did not get shredded. So I'm just going to help it along here. Okay. That is looking good. And now, let me wash my hands. Now I'm going to take some of this barbecue sauce and open it up. And for me, when I decide to use something, it has to smell a certain way. I smell it, and I can kind of say to myself, I can see that going in there. So I'm not going to do a whole lot. I just want a little flavoring. I'm going to stir that around. I've been cooking long enough now to where I can usually, with any kind of spice, I might need just a little bit more. With any kind of spice or seasoning, I can usually smell it and say, I don't know about that. So that's just kind of how I roll. This is looking really, really good. So now all I've got to do with this, again, I've got this on a low simmer. I don't want to cook it. I'm just trying to get everything nice and blended together, and then I'll put it in one side of my crock pot, put that back in the refrigerator, and put, I don't know, the lid on it or something to keep it fresh. And then I'll bring it out probably at 5 o'clock. My dinner guests are coming at 6, and I'll just turn it on low and heat it through and make sure that everything is all good to go. So here, let me give you a close-up view. Looks really good. So I'm gonna hang up for now, but the next time you see me, we're gonna be working on the venison burger portion of it. So I'll be right back. Hey guys, I'm back, and so now we are going to continue with making our walking tacos, but now I'm going to be using my deer burger, my venison. So it's kind of a rinse and repeat. So instead of getting another pot dirty, I just took a paper towel and I somewhat cleaned out all of the chicken debris that was in here so that I can just use and dirty up one pot. Makes it a whole lot easier for cleanup. So rinse and repeat, we are going to drizzle just enough of this olive oil so that I can saute some more onions and peppers. I'm going to turn that on high, go ahead and get it cranked up. Let me see. And I'm using another packet. And I realized that I misspoke earlier. This was not for my garden. This was a batch of onions that was getting ready to go bad a few months ago. And to save it, I ended up chopping them up. I actually think I did a video on that. I chopped them up. And I put them in baggies in the portion sizes. So I have grown onions before, but not in 2025. So yeah, that was a batch. You can go back and look at my video. But if you have any vegetables that are getting ready to go by the wayside, to save them so that you don't have to throw them away. I hate waste. So I'm going to do kind of the same thing. I'm going to do about three handfuls. I think that'll be good. Some peppers and onions. You can use green onions if you don't like the yellow and the red and the orange, but I love the color. I think it makes it look really pretty. So now that's getting cranked up. I'm going to turn it down, and I'm just going to break up these frozen onions, and I will cook this until it's about 3/4 of the way cooked. Most of the time, if you're cooking onions, you want to cook them until they become translucent. I'm not going to cook them that much. And these are red onions that I'm using today. Very simple. I was going to tell you too also with, if my daughter-in-law is watching this video, she's going to say, what? You didn't put garlic in that chicken? I did not put garlic in the chicken, but you most certainly can. And it would be delicious in there. I'm kind of keeping it simple today. And you know, when you're cooking for other people, I'm just not sure what their likes and dislikes are. So I'm going to keep it simple, keep it kind of a fajita flavor. But if you like garlic, definitely throw some minced garlic or fresh garlic or garlic powder, garlic salt, whatever kind of garlic you want. Again, this meal is all about you. What do you like on your tacos? So, not going to put garlic in this venison either. So, I'm going to hang up for now because it's taking a little bit more time to break all of this up, but I will be back when I get ready to put my venison on here. I'll be back. Hey y'all, so I am back. So right now I think my peppers and onions are just about where I want them to be. They're not completely cooked. I finally got them all broken up because my onions were frozen. But I'm going to do something a little bit different with this because my chicken was already cooked. So I was able just to mix everything together. My burger is not. So that I don't overcook my peppers and onions, what I'm going to do is take all of these peppers and onions out and put them in a bowl and put them to the side. And then I will cook my venison burger and get it all ready. And then I will join it and combine it all together again. If I just put my burger in here and I start cooking, then my peppers and onions are going to be too cooked. And we don't want them mushy. I don't know about you. There's kind of like a fine line between having them like a healthy, not healthy, like a little bit of a crunch. I don't like my vegetables soggy. Let me just put it to you that way. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, okay, I'm going to put these to the side in a bowl, like that. And of course, they're going to continue to soften and cook, you know, because they're hot right now. So we're just going to put them over here, and then I'm going to put my venison burger and get it going here and brown it. And we all know how to do that. It's all the same. If you've ever cooked, you know, hamburgers or spaghetti sauce or whatever, all you need to do is we need to brown the burger, and then we'll put everything together. Oh, here we go. That's a little hot. Let's see here. It's okay if there's a couple little pieces that are left behind. It'll be fine. But for the most part, yeah, I think it's good. So now we're going to take my venison and we're going to take it out of the bag like so. And I'm doing it like this because if there's any of the blood in the bottom of the bag, I don't want to put that all in there. Wash my hands. So yeah, now all we've got to do is we're going to set the onions and the peppers back there, and we're just going to break this up. Can you see me out there? What's your weather like today? There's this beautiful sunshine. There's a chill in the air. It's not as chilly as what I wanted it to be. It was kind of chilly this morning. Now it's 71 degrees. So forget about that. It has definitely warmed up to the 70s. It does not feel like it should in January, but hey, we have to take what we get, right? Anyway, I'm just going to break this up, and we're going to brown this venison burger up, and then I'll be back, and we'll toss it all together. Don't know what happened there, but somehow my phone got turned off, so I'm sorry about that technical difficulty. Again, I'm stirring everything together. Little recap, all I have is venison burger. I have red, yellow, and orange bell peppers that's been diced. I have red onions that's been diced, salt and pepper, and my fajita seasoning from Kinder's. So again, if you wanted to put other things in here, that would be totally great. But now what I'm going to do, you're going to love this. Let me show you my crock pot. I love it. Look at that. It's 2 sections. So I've got chicken in the one section. Now I'm going to put my burger in this section. And all I will have to do is heat it through right before my guest gets here. And it'll, I can take it out of the actual, crock pot that has the cord on it. The only drawback to this crock pot, if it's the only one that you have, is there's times that you want to cook like a big pot of chili or something like that, and it's not big enough because, you know, it's one crock pot that's been divided into 2 sections. So I finally had to break down and get me another just plain old crock pot so that I can use it for things like chili and spaghetti sauce or soups or stews or, you know, whatever I want to cook. So now I'm just going to put this in here and we'll put a lid on it. I'll put it in the refrigerator because it's still 3:30 and my guests are not going to be here until 6. But the meat is done. All I have to do is warm it through, and that way I can spend more time talking and fellowshipping with my guest instead of cooking. So a little bit of prep goes a long way. So I will let you go for now, but when we get ready to put this all together, actually, before I hang up, let me show you. I don't have everything heated up and ready yet, but let me show you what we're going to be doing. As a side dish, we're going to be having our Mexican corn, because I just love it. And I'll put that in my little mini crock pot about an hour before, and I'll put some pads of butter in there, because, you know, butter goes really good with that. I'm going to heat up some of this refried beans that we can put on our walking tacos. Some black beans. Bushes are the best. Some rotel. Have you ever tried rotel before with the green chilies? They are awesome. You can put some of that. Dwight and I, we absolutely love our mild banana pepper rings or pepperoncinis, either one. Black olives. And then I will have some sour cream, some guacamole, and some Mexican blend shredded cheese to go on there. So, yeah, it's going to be yummy. So anyway, until I get all of this put together, have a good one. I'll be back. Okay, it is time. I'm about 30 minutes from our guest arriving. And so before we just start digging in and enjoying these walking tacos, I just wanted to let you know and let you see how I kind of have my spread today. So, of course, you want to set it up buffet style. So I've got my plates. And then we have our, I'm using romaine lettuce. You can use whatever kind of lettuce that you would like. And then I bought the big box of Doritos that has the nacho cheese. It's got the spicy sweet chili, if you like a little spice. Here's another spicy nacho. My favorite is the Cool Ranch. That's probably the one I'm going to use. And then there's one other one that is a barbecue flavor. So you choose whatever kind of Dorito that you like. And these are my fixings. So we have the rotel with chilies, tomatoes, chopped and diced tomatoes. We have salsa, we have banana peppers, black olives. You could do green olives if you like that. We've got some black beans, and we have our shredded Mexican blend cheese. And then I decided to do the individual guacamoles because every time I buy a container of guacamole, it always goes bad before I can use it. So I'm hoping that whatever is not used, we can put it in the refrigerator and it will last longer. So the meats are doing really well. They're almost ready. I have them warming up. Let me show you that as well. Here we go. We have our venison burger with the bell pepper and the onions. And here's my chicken mix that has all the seasonings and some barbecue sauce in there. So, yeah, we're just about ready to rock and roll. So all you would do is you would take a plate, you would put your lettuce, your nachos, your fixings, and you dive in and you just enjoy. If you really want to experience the walking tacos, then you would just take your Doritos and put your fixings in your bag, get a spoon, and just enjoy. Thank you. I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope you enjoy it and that you will try your hand at some walking tacos. Have a good day.